guys, Kaylee here, and welcome back to the Honeystead. We have got a little bit of everything going on this morning, but we are gonna start in the kitchen and then end our day probably outside in the garden because we have some new arrivals that are coming to the farm, so we have to get ready for them. I've got a little bit of work to do up in the greenhouse and a whole bunch of work to do up in the garden, and it's gonna take quite a few people to help us. So we're gonna show you guys how we start our day. So I have a lot of people that ask quite often how we're able to do a lot of the things that we do, and the only thing that we can recommend is do it in stages, multitask. So when we're doing our tomatoes, I'm laying out the skins and getting them on the dehydrator to eventually be turned into a powder, which we've processed probably about, I would say like 500.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, probably around 500 tomatoes already. And that is, we're dehydrating skins, we are dehydrating the actual tomatoes, which I posted on my Instagram the other day that one of the most prolific tomatoes that we have growing so far in our greenhouse, out of all the tomatoes that we have growing, is the Brad's Atomic Grape tomato.
Those are delicious.
They are delicious, but you know, as much as I love them fresh, I'm actually enjoying dehydrated Brad's Atomic tomatoes like really ridiculously. We went ahead and we did a huge batch of them. What did you put oregano?
I put a little bit of salt and oregano on them.
It was so good. And then we dehydrated it for probably like 12 hours, I think.
We cut them in half.
Yeah. Cut them in half and put them in the dehydrator for, it was around 12 hours, but you can feel if it has moisture. It's almost like you want to get it to that perfect texture. Not too much moisture, but not too crispy. And we went ahead and put it in a jar with some olive oil. And I'm probably gonna try to do another batch with a little bit of rosemary and garlic as well that we can cook with. So today in our kitchen, first thing we're doing is my phone. I am literally on call because in like the next 2 minutes, I gotta go. I have got to run, and we're gonna be adding the next addition to our homestead. So while we're doing this, we are also multitasking and cleaning out our freezer and making a big old batch of bone broth. How we're doing it, and this is why I talk about multitasking on the homestead, especially if you are outside doing the animals, building structures, and then coming inside and having to prepare and preserve your food, you're gonna wanna multitask. So today, what I have going on in the oven is we have a bunch of beef bones that we're roasting. We also cut up some of our onions and carrots and garlic. I forgot the celery, but we'll add that later. What's that? The chicken went just running down my driveway. I was like, what is that?
We got a chicken running down the road.
It crossed the road. Okay, so when we talk about the bones that we have roasting, they're roasting for about 30 minutes. Then I'm gonna take them, I'm gonna show you guys how we put them in our big old roaster, which is something that we're really excited to have.
It's a new addition.
It is the new addition to the homestead. It is a 22 quart roaster that I could cook it a lot in. So we're going, yeah, it's 22. It's a big one. It's a big one. I'll show you guys. So we're gonna put all of the bones and the veggies in this big old roaster, and we're gonna let it cook. I'm timing it to where it allows me to have a day of cooling, because what you're gonna do once it's cooled off, you're gonna skim off the fat on top, and then you're gonna get it ready for canning. If I timed it perfectly, today's Wednesday, you guys are gonna be watching this on Friday, but we're gonna cook it for 2 days, let it cool for 1 day, and probably on Saturday, we're gonna get it in the pressure cooker and can it. So strategizing and planning how you do things in the kitchen with food preservation and also living the homestead life it's how you get so much done. And if you're like me, I'm like a squirrel, okay? Like I'll start over here and then I'll go over there, and in the middle of doing all of this, I'm also saving seeds, and
she's like a little tornado.
I am like a little tornado. And then I'm cleaning on top of it and making sure the kids are taken care of, making sure everybody's good to go. But in our process of today, I've got like 12 things happening
And stuff to build.
And still stuff to build. And I still have honey I have to pour. So welcome to our life here on the Honeystead.
Yep, and today we've got possibly some extra hands coming.
Maybe some extra hands.
We have
see.
the other grandkids coming. So if that happens and they're helpful to us, we might get more accomplished than maybe.
Yeah.
But then we got to feed them.
I have to feed them, which is fine. I don't mind feeding them if they're willing to help give us a hand. And typically, whenever they leave, we always send them home with some of the harvest. I have quite a bit of tomatoes that we still have to harvest. We've got a fall garden that I have started already at seed, and we're gonna be planting them. We've got...
We don't have enough hours today.
I don't have enough hours. We're gonna get as much done as possible. But the point is, multitask, strategize, make a plan, where it's early enough in the morning that we can get this thing going and walk away from it and go do another task.
Yep. And more hands make less work of anything.
All the time. So come on and join us here at our day on the Honeystead.
Be prepared to work.
Yeah. That definitely smells delicious. Good morning. I missed your call. I heard, are they there? Okay, I'm on my way. All right, bye. Hi, little babies. Let's get you home. Come on. Hi, little baby. Okay. Let's get you guys situated, huh? Let's get you in your new home.
There we go. See him drinking now.
Here, go get another one. Is that the oddball? Yes. Let me see its feet. I bet I could tell you what it is. Oh, it's got fuzzy feet. I would say that is probably going to be a cochin. Look how cute.
His name is Pedro.
We're not going to name him Pedro.
Yes, you are.
All right, whatever.
I feel like he's a Lloyd.
He's a Lloyd. That's his name. There's so many babies.
That's a lot of turkeys.
They're not turkeys.
Oh, let's do this way. There you go. Yeah.
I wonder if it has it on the lid on the breed. Kiwi, get out of the side-by-side. Kiwi, this is why we can't have nice things. You are such a brat. Kiwi. You guys figuring it out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That one got a booty.
That's okay. All right, so yes.
Got some pretty red ones.
Those are pretty. There are a bunch of Roma tomatoes. So those are Romas. These little guys right here. We got a lot of little ones. I'll show you guys what we do with them. We're gonna dehydrate
I
it.
see some in the back.
Yep, that's a perfect one. So if you can pick as many tomatoes as possible and peppers, that will help me tremendously.
Oh my gosh, Sissy, have you seen them back here?
Yeah, there's some big ones,
Are
isn't
the
there?
yellow ones good to pick?
Yep, they should be good. Oh yeah, all of those way back there, those are all Dr. Witchy.
I got a pretty one.
Yep, if you guys can do that. Nope, the green one. Let me see.
Oh, it's a baby one.
Oh, it is pretty.
Pew.
Thank you.
Those ones are kind of heavy.
All right, so yeah, what I find is if I start on one end and then I work my way down and then come back.
Because I see a whole bunch.
Yep, so, and then if you guys need another bushel, if you need another bushel basket, I've got plenty, okay?
Okay.
All right, if you guys can do this, then I'm gonna move on and go finish building the chicken tractor, okay?
Here, Kaylin, I need your help because there's a pink one back here. Pink? Look, a pink, yeah, pinkish reddish.
Thank you.
Ran into a spider web twice.
Yeah. Is that for me?
Yes.
Is that oatmeal?
Yes.
It's really good.
Thank
like,
you.
Really good. Hey, Keegan, you want to help us or now? Take the radar.
Keegan's gonna help me. He's gonna help me build.
Okay.
So sometimes on our farm, really busy days, I have breakfast on the go. Well, I'm trying to do other things. So far, I've got the bone broth already in the roaster. We've got the chickens now squared away. I have to start working on the chicken tractor. I have my nephew and my nieces here to give me a hand and let the kids get in there and actually have a day on the farm and help harvest. And then I still have a lot to do. Plus, I have a pig that I think is getting ready to farrow. So this is my life on the farm. Okay, so let's go ahead.
Put a bigger line than that.
Actually, if you put a V, put a V.
Why a V?
Well, if you put a V, then you know that you have to cut down this line. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and actually it's best to do the V on the end so you know, okay, I'm gonna start here, it's gotta line up.
Here.
So,
Make the line right. Make the line.
so then measure 75 inches on this one right here.
Bam.
Okay, measure 75 inches on this one.
This thing's about 1 to 4 inches. Oh yeah. Your baby! Oh, your baby! Oh, your baby! Oh, your baby!
Basically just gonna be a cover for the brooding box because I forgot to do that.
When are you gonna give us your babies? Huh? When are you gonna give us the babies? I think it's gonna be soon. Let's see your belly. Oh boy. How many babies are in here? You talking to me?
But by the looks of this girl, I've been watching her pretty closely, and I'll note that as soon as I start seeing the milk line develop, it's pretty much about 2 weeks until I start seeing piglets on the ground. I have a feeling by the time this video comes out, we are gonna have some piglets on the ground. That, my friends, is going to be our chicken tractor. It's based off of Joel Salatin's chicken tractor design. We definitely have a little more work to do. Let's go check in on some of that bone broth that I have brewing. Wow, look at that. So this is onions and garlic and carrots and beef bones, and we are cooking it down with a little bit of herbs. The only thing we did forget is celery, but I think I might add that tomorrow. But I can already tell you it looks and smells absolutely delicious. Garlic. Beautiful. So my beautiful niece handmade something that we are gonna put on our Etsy store, and I had to share it with you guys. But she handmade these clay ornaments, and if you look, they've got little bees on them. But I figured that we would put them on our Etsy store and see if anyone of my Honeysteaders would like to have one of them. But isn't that absolutely just completely adorable? She's very artsy and completely creative, so we had to share them with you guys. But isn't that cool? Thank you guys for watching, and as always, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn something old.